A very good morning to everybody. Today we are going to discuss about the Indian Air Force. And so let's start. First, we have the rank structure, which is very important in any organization, since a clear distinction between ranks and authority is very helpful. And so we have here the non-commissioned ranks such as sergeant, corporal, and in the junior commissioned rank, we have the warrant officer, master warrant officer, and then we have the commissioned ranks, in which also we have the honorary rank of Marshal of the Indian Air Force. So just take a good look and then we'll move on. I hope you have paused the video and looked at it. Moving on. Then we have the commands. So in total in the Indian Air Force, we have 7 commands, out of which 5 are the operational and 2 are the functional units. The operational commands actually take care of the military operations in their area, whereas the functional commands take care of the personnel and the equipment of the Indian Air Force. And so we have each command headed by an officer in command, which is of the rank of Air Marshal. So take a good look, please. And moving on, we have all the commands. Again, we're just going to skim over the commands so that you have a comprehensive study of these. So first we have the Central Command, which has its headquarters in Prayagraj, and some of its permanent air bases is at Kanpur, Gwalior, Nagpur, and Agra. And it is headed by Air Marshal Ravi Gopal Krishna Kapoor. Then moving on, we have the Western Air Command, and it has its headquarters in New Delhi, headed by Air Marshal Pankaj Mohan Sinha, and some of its permanent air bases are at Pathankot, Chandigarh, and Ambala. Moving on, we have the Eastern Air Command, which is in Shillong, and we have the command headed by Air Marshal Sujit Pushpakar Dharkar. And some of its permanent air bases are at Tezpur and Bagdora. Again, moving on, we have the Southern Air Command, which has its headquarters in Thiruvananthapuram and headed by Air Marshal Balakrishnan Manikantan. And some of its permanent air bases are at Tanjavur, Kar Nicobar, and Salur. And now we move on to the Southwestern Air Command, which is in Gandhinagar and headed by Air Marshal Narmadeshwar Tiwari. And some permanent air bases are at Bhuj, Jaisalmer, and Jodhpur. And now we move on to the functional commands. First of which is the Training Command, which takes care of the training of the Indian Air Force personnel. And it is situated in Bengaluru and was formed in 1971. And the Air Commander Officer in Chief is Air Marshal Nagesh Kapoor. And moving on to a final air command, which is your maintenance command, which was formed even before than the training command in 1955. Its permanent headquarters is in Nagpur, and we have the Air Officer Commander in Chief as Air Marshal Vijay Kumar Garg. And so now I would like to call my next teammate, Sheesh, to come up and explain the anatomy of the airplanes and also to explain the transport cargo planes. Thank you.
Move on with the anatomy of an airplane and the very basic physics of how it flies. While on the runway, when it speeds, phenomenon takes place. If we imagine sitting in a car and taking our hands out the window and keeping them in a slanted position, we feel the force of the air particles hitting the undersurface of the hand, and our hands are lifted. That is a very basic concept of how an airplane takes off. What the additional features in the airplane are these flaps and the slats. These flaps and slats help in the mountainous terrain where there are shorter runways. So these flaps and slats, they increase the curvature of the wings of the plane, due to which more air particles hit the underside, and therefore a greater lift is given to the airplane. Now we see this the tail of the aeroplane, the rudder, and the elevators. Elevators also help during the takeoff. They create a torque which helps the plane to lift off. The elevator helps during the flight to change the trajectory of motion. If we see the photographs, see the curvature helps to get a greater lift. The air particles come and hit the underside of these wings, due to which a reaction force takes place and the airplane gets a lift. These are the photos of the wings. The flaps and the slats, these help to increase this curvature of the wings, which in turn increases the force. These are the elevators which help in takeoff and also while landing of the aeroplane. The rudder and the vertical stabilizer, they help to handle the trajectory of the aeroplane during the flight. Well, let's now move on to the aircraft inventory of the Indian Air Force. We have multi-role fighters and strike aircraft, jets, airborne early warning and control system, also known as the AWACS, aerial refueling system, transport aircraft, trainer aircrafts, helicopters, and unmanned aerial vehicles, such also the basics, the drones, basically the drones. Well, it is a very common saying that no country can win a war with the only air force, but a country is surely to lose a war if it does not have an air force, and it increases when it comes to India. Basically because the northern part of India is mountainous and it's difficult to reach quickly with ground forces, and the Air Force also helps the Navy. The attributes of speed, reach, flexibility, versatility, concentration, responsiveness have helped India during tense situations in a war. If we see the 1947 conflict between India and Pakistan, the Air Force helped to deploy the first Sikh regiment in 1947 in Jammu and Kashmir, when Pakistan Army had infiltrated while to capture the Pungli Bridge in 1971. Also, we have seen many rescue operations undertaken by the Indian Air Force, such as Operation Sukoon, and in the currently going on Ukraine-Russia war, the Indian Air Force flights were sent to rescue the Indian citizens residing there. These are some aircrafts that helped in transport the C-17 Glowmaster 3 by Boeing, Illusion, also known as Gajraj in the Indian Air Force, Super Hercules, Antonov AN-32 developed by Russia, Boeing 737 very commonly, it is also a commercial jet, Hawker Siddeley HS-748. Let's have a look at the photographs. C-17 Glowmaster 3, Gajraj, the majestic Super Hercules, and Hawker. Thank you.